I've been doing my best to stay consistent and keep my word, so I hope that you've enjoyed the past couple of videos, and I'm excited to be back on YouTube for real this time. Hello. I hope that you're all doing so well. Recently, I've received a lot of questions about how I found my apartment in Mexico City, what resources I used, what the process was like, and I tried to answer as many emails as possible, but I figured I would just make a video dedicated to this topic, and you can ask me any additional questions in the comments below, and I'll make more videos about it if needed. Also, I have my computer here for notes just in case I forget anything. When I moved to Mexico City last November, I rented an Airbnb for a month. I highly recommend doing a monthly stay on an Airbnb when you first get here, just so that you can get a sense of the neighborhood and decide if you even want to stay in the city long term. I think the pros of doing a monthly stay in an Airbnb are, it's obviously furnished, so you don't have to worry about finding furniture. You don't have to worry about utilities and bills. And like I said, you can figure out if you like the area that you're staying in or explore other areas. So after a few weeks in the Airbnb, I realized, one, I really liked the Airbnb and I definitely wanted to stay in Mexico City longer. So I contacted the host and I asked her if we could create a contract off of Airbnb to save both of us the fees and just go from there. The contract was initially for, I want to say it was 3 months, and I paid her in cash. Like I said, utilities were included. And after the 3 months were up, we just went month to month. I ended up staying in that Airbnb for 6 months. Also, another pro of staying at a monthly stay Airbnb instead of jumping into a lease immediately is you can kind of figure out what your standards are for that city. I'd never been to Mexico City, so I didn't know what I would want out of an apartment. But after staying at the Airbnb, I realized I wanted something that was in a more central location in the areas that I tend to frequent. I knew I wanted something that was off of a main road because I film and I work from home, so like the noise level is pretty important to me. And I knew that I wanted something with security, or like a front door man for collecting packages and just safety purposes. But I wouldn't have realized that if I just like found an apartment online and signed a lease immediately without exploring the city first. And I say the security thing, not because I feel unsafe in Mexico City. I've always felt extremely safe. But I realized living at my last unit that I would miss a lot of packages because I wasn't there to collect them. And unlike the US, they can't just leave, or they don't just leave the package at your door. And I would have to go hunt the package down. So I realized I wanted to be in an apartment where like packages could be collected if I wasn't here. So after 6 months at the first Airbnb, I realized that I definitely wanted to stay in Mexico City longer. I wanted a slightly bigger place so that I could have a guest bedroom for friends that were coming to visit, because just a lot of friends were making or have been making plans to come see me. And I wanted to live in a different area. So I started looking on Inmuebles 24 and Inmuebles 24, which is a like realtor.com in Mexico City. I turned on the amueblado filter because I knew that I wanted something that was furnished. I set the price range and then I selected the zones that I wanted to live in. The way that I would contact the realtors listed is I would use the WhatsApp. They have a feature where you can either email or WhatsApp. I used WhatsApp just because everybody typically has their phone on them, and I would send them a message in Spanish basically saying, hi, I'm looking for an apartment. I'm very interested in the one that you have listed here, and I would include the link because they're hosting and showing multiple apartments, so I just wanted to be very clear. And then I would ask them, is it available? And they would typically respond like pretty quickly. We would set up a tour within the next couple of days. And yeah, it was like a super simple process. I recommend this website to anyone looking for an apartment. And I saw 2 apartments. The first one, I really liked the area, but it wasn't furnished. And I thought if I liked the apartment enough, then I would just furnish it. I didn't. And then the second apartment is the one that I'm currently living in. It was furnished in the area that I love. And it was recently posted, so I was the first person to see it. I saw the apartment on a Sunday, and then I immediately started the process the following week. I completed the initial application, and then they had a team of lawyers who contacted me to verify that all of my information was truthful. And then within, I would say it was like 2 weeks, I was in here signing all the documents. I will also say that I waited 6 months to actually sign a lease because I wanted my Spanish to be in a place where I could communicate my questions and concerns and I could understand the contract. I did have my friend look over the contract just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. But yeah, I just wanted to make sure that I was able to communicate with the people that I was renting from. And it turns out that they speak amazing English as well, but that was really important for me. Also because I don't have a Mexican visa, I just have a tourist visa. I had to pay an additional, I wanna say it was around $250, $300 on top of my deposit. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to get that back, but I was okay with signing that fee because I was just grateful that they were willing to let me sign the lease without like an official long stay visa. And yeah, within a couple weeks, I had everything signed and they were really flexible about the move-in date because the apartment was like ready and painted and everything was set to go. So I gave my Airbnb like a month's notice and yeah, I moved in here 3 weeks after seeing this apartment. I felt super secure during the process. Communication was always super clear. Everyone had they made sure everyone in the process like had a copy of all the contracts. They took pictures of everything just in case like at the end of my lease like something was broken or maybe something was missing. Like everything is tracked. And I really appreciated that. Now, a lot of my friends have also found a lot of success just using Facebook groups to find apartments, Facebook groups for expats, or Facebook groups for local people just trying to rent out their apartments. I will pull together a list of the Facebook groups my friends have used and leave them in the description box below. That's also another way that a lot of people I know have found really great places to live. I knew that I didn't necessarily want a roommate and that I wanted to stay here for a full year and have my own lease, like for my name to be on the lease, not just a sublet, which is why I went with Envela Place 24. But like I said, so many of my friends have had like great success on Facebook. Create my own Total Play account, which is the Wi-Fi service that I use, like super simply. And I pay my rent and all the utilities in cash. You can pay for some bills at the OXXO, which is like the local gas station slash like convenience store here. And then I also just like deposit the cash into their bank accounts at the bank. I don't have a Mexican bank account. I haven't tried to get one yet because I don't have like I said, a long stay visa, so I don't think I can, but I can do everything in cash. If you guys have any more questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below, and I hope that this was helpful. Thank you all for taking the time to press play on today's video. Thank you so much for being patient with me. Thank you so much for showing up for me. And as always, thank you for being here.